Greetings, my fellow Tea Party patriots. My name is Ed Coet, and I'm a retired United States Army intelligence officer and a retired professional educator. Now I'm a freelance writer and a poet, and I'm a committed independent conservative, which some might refer to as a Tea Party conservative, and I'm always an American patriot. I was once a Democrat and then a Republican. I left the Republican Party for the same reason that I left the Democratic Party. I grew tired and weary of political corruption and a wholesale breach of integrity by both parties. I discovered it was impossible to trust politicians in both parties who lied to the American people. Both political parties have forsaken their constituents, the American people, and the general welfare of their country, our country, in favor of lobbyists and an insatiable greed and thirst for power, prestige, elitism, and privilege at the expense of those who voted them into office. They mindlessly spent the nation's treasury, placing generations of Americans in crippling debt and placing at risk our national security. And all of this for selfish political power and personal gain. The so-called servants of the people instead became the self-served. As a former Cold War warrior, I'm shocked that the Marxist-Socialist ideology we spent decades defending against may have been done in vain, as the Obama administration is moving at Mach speed to transform us into the failed socialist Marxist utopia we spent all those decades fighting against, and all without firing a shot. I find this to be frightening and troubling, and I worry for our republic. That's why I join so many of you in the Tea Party movement. My country matters to me. My country and our liberty is worth fighting for. I also understand that our liberties throughout history, throughout American history, have been preserved by those who served our country in uniform, who went before us, sometimes giving even the ultimate sacrifice. In honor of them and all veterans, I wrote a poem that I titled simply Soldier. Soldier has been published in many venues, to include my own book, Poet Coet. I would now like to share this poem with you, and I hope you enjoy it and share it with others. I saw a burial with a bugler playing taps. I turned to my father. "Well, what happened?" I asked. He clutched my hand, and with a quiver in his voice, he began to explain as his eyes became moist. "My son," he said, "this is rather difficult for me. For an old veteran like myself, this is tough to see. In that coffin lies a genuine patriotic warrior, an honest-to-God hero, an American soldier. I appreciate that soldier and the service he gave, and I honor his sacrifice as he's laid in his grave. He was honorable, selfless, courageous, and bold. Please remember him, son, as you grow old. The value of his service I must explain. If not remembered, would be lost in vain. As a nation, we're nothing without soldiers like him, and failing to remember would be a terrible sin." I listened in awe as my father spoke, and it seemed as if his heart were broke. I suddenly remembered when he went to war, and when he returned, I thought nothing more. I never asked why he walked with a limp, and I didn't care about why he was sick. I was too busy enjoying the life that I had to realize that I had it because of Dad. I finally understood what my dad was about, and it hurt so bad I cried out loud. He sacrificed so much so I could be free. His battle scars were suffered for me. It was my father's spirit that spoke to me that day. Thank God I finally understood what he had to say. I saluted his coffin as they laid him to rest, and I thought about the medals pinned on his chest. That I didn't honor him sooner I will always regret, and I pledged that day to never again forget. I'm proud that my dad was a patriotic warrior. I'm honored to be the son of an American soldier. God bless our men and women in uniform. God bless the Tea Party movement. And God bless you and thank you for taking the time to listen to my poem.